Here you go.
Here we go. Are we there?
This is all of us.
Hi. Okay, go.
Here's my note cards. Okay. Although the NFL is the most popular sports franchise in the U.S. today, there's something that could happen that could cause football as we know it to stop. There's something called a players' agreement, which is an agreement between the owners of NFL teams and the players that play for them. And that deal expires at the end of this upcoming season. I've been a fan of football since I was 8 years old, and I followed it very closely my entire life since then. And if this doesn't get figured out pretty soon, there will be no Super Bowl in 2011, no NFL Sundays at all. What's happening currently this year, there's not going to be an NFL cap. A cap is a restriction placed on each team that determines how much money they can spend on players for that year. With no cap, or what's called a capless season, there are going to be several differences that will not benefit players at all, and very few that will. According to Nate Davis from the USA Today, the amount of years a player has to be in the league before they can be known as what's a free agent goes from 4 to 6. That basically means if a player's been in the league for 4 years, whereas he would have been able to go find another team and try to get as much money as he could, he can't. He's still property of the team that he was given to because he hasn't been in the league long enough. This will upset many players and affect them negatively. There's also going to be no minimum salary for players, which means you're going to have the superstars, their pay is just going to go up, and everybody else will be getting paid substantially less than they were previously. The minimum for veterans before was $1 million a year, whereas now you'll probably have backups making $500,000. Although this affects owners and players both negatively, it affects players much worse than it affects the owners for several different reasons. Namely, the owners already have a lot more money than the players do. The owners want a new deal as opposed to the old one. The old one, the players received 60% of the income from the team, and if you compare that to any other professional sports franchise in the US, that is a lot more money going to the players, percentage-wise, than any other sport. Even baseball only gives 53% of the income to the players. According to Jarrett Bell from the USA Today, the main reason owners are doing this is because they feel that the players don't receive enough of the financial risk involved in a regular season's activities, going from spending money on building new stadiums, making sure everybody's in the right place, from field security to ball boys to everything else that they have to worry about. The players, all they have to do is show up and play, and the owners feel that too much money is being given to the players for the amount of work that they're doing. The owners are going to be in an okay situation if there is no season, because all the TV contracts that they've signed, especially with DirecTV, they are all guaranteed regardless of whether there's football or not. So if there's no NFL season, the TV networks still have to pay the NFL the agreed amount. The players obviously want to keep the same agreement. Right now, the owners are asking the players to essentially take an 18% pay cut. The players don't want to. The owners want them to. The owners are not going to cave. They don't have to. The players may or may not give, and if they do give, we'll have NFL next year. If they don't, we won't have an NFL season next year. As surreal as it may seem, in 2011, there may be no Super Bowl. And everybody's got to get in the camera one more time.
I'm gonna put it off.
Okay.